If you want to make your imaginal acts powerful, you need to finger your subconscious, okay? You have to get to the point where you can feel it like if it's right there. Now, here's the thing. I believe that you can manifest things when your imaginal acts are blurry, when they're in freaking 180p. However, it's not so much the vividness of your imaginal act that is important, but the fact that it gets you into the state that is important. It matters what happens to your internal afterwards, not so much your external. Remember, your sensations are in your external, okay? A lot of people are thinking that when Neville says feeling is the secret, that they mean like, okay, so I mean, I have to feel on cloud 9. I have to feel amazing. Feeling amazing, feeling on cloud 9 is just an illusion of the body. Okay, when he's saying feeling is a secret, it's about that internal conviction where it's not really something that can be felt in the throat and the stomach. It is just a awareness of it is done, a relief, Sabbath. Okay, and when you can get to the point where your imaginal acts feel like something was impressed on the subconscious, that is when you know you did it. I tried a technique where I focus on tactile sensation, and I noticed that a experiment with an SP, which someone who I'm not trying to, I find her attractive, but you know, I'm not really trying to manifest an SP right now. I just simply wanted to try this technique out, and it worked. It worked, okay? And maybe a little too much. All I basically did was, because I found this woman sexually attractive, I went to the end, okay? I focused on what it would feel like if she was approaching me, chasing me, and basically begging me to touch her, okay? Now, we know YouTube is you know, family friendly, and we all gotta hold hands and, you know, play hopscotch, so I don't want to go too much in details, but let's just say there was a certain part of her that I was really focused on the tactile sensation of, okay? And, you know, we're in the imagination business. I'll let you use your imagination, okay? But when I did this imaginal act, okay, again, key factors, it wasn't me coercing this woman. It wasn't me like, would you please marry me? It was not me like, oh, finally I got her. It was a scene where I put myself in the state that I'm trying to do my shit, and she's, you know, pulling me, okay? Like the one who tried to, you know, the one that what's his name, Joseph, had to run away from, right? The constable's wife or whatever, right? Where he had to run away naked because she was holding on to his towel, right? Like that. As a matter of fact, that's the way you want your imaginal acts to be, where they're after you, you know? And of course, same goes for women. You want it to be that the man is begging you for proposal, right? He's begging you for commitment, right? And you're just kind of like, you know, doing your nails, and you're like, whatever. But either ways, I focus on the tactile sensation, and instead of focusing on, you know, if the AC was on, or what color were my shoes that day, if there was any spots on them, you know, I simply focus on the tactile sensation, right? And I imagined her leaning in close as I was touching her, okay? But remember, I wasn't the one touching her. She had my hand, and she was basically, you know, doing the work for me, okay? Key little tip: if you're doing an intimate scene like this, imagine them having to basically do the work for you, holding your hand to do it, because it implies, oh, I really want this, okay? Even those small little details make the difference. But yeah, I did that, and within 5 days, I see her. And I've known this female for years, okay? And, you know, I noticed a weird shift, okay? First of all, when she greeted me, she called me Poppy, okay? And I know you're like, oh my gosh, wow, amazing. But dude, she would always call me by my name. You know, there was always some sort of professionalism, but all of a sudden she just starts calling me Poppy. And then after that, some other things happen that, look, we don't want to get YouTube, canceling your boy here. But the point is, guys, do you think that shift was something of coincidence? No. This only happened by me focusing on a tactile sensation. Why? Because when I focus on that, it became so real that every single time I would bump into her, I literally felt like if it was a memory. Almost like that feeling of awkwardness where you're like, oh shit, is she gonna bring it up? Like that. That's how real it got. Why? Because instead of having everything perfect in my imaginal act and I have to, make sure every booger looks exactly in high definition, I just simply focused on the main thing that mattered, which in that specific scenario, it was intimacy. Now, that is an extreme example, but for you guys who are holy, we can do one for just commitment, okay? Women, you want to imagine commitment, okay? Well, that could be different ways. You could imagine the tactile sensation of holding his hand and you guys, having the engagement rings on both of y'all's fingers. That's one. But I think it's really not so much in that specific case for proposal and engagement and commitment that you want to feel so much the tactile sensations, but more so just the feeling of I'm wanted, I'm desired, right? So in that case, I would imagine a little bit of maybe tactile sensation. You guys are on the couch, right? But I would focus more on you imagining that you are looking in his eyes and he tells you, I am so happy that we've already hit 10 years of our anniversary. I love you, baby, right? And what I would do is I would focus on the details of a facial expression on his face that you know for a fact, because you've known him throughout that whole marriage, you know for a fact that he was being sincere. Instead of focusing on, is the couch, the old couch, or is it the one that our dad gave it? No. Was the TV on? Were we watching the news, or were we watching? Guys, focus on what matters. Okay, whether it's intimacy, okay, focus on the tactile sensations. You're not fucking the air. Okay, you are, being intimate with the body. Okay, if it's intimacy, tactile sensations of the body. If it's wanting to feel chosen, focus on certain details that prove to you, the evidence that will prove to you that you are chosen. The sincerity of your husband's face, your SP's face, when he tells you that he loves you, where it's not just words, you can tell the little twinkle in his eye. Focus on the twinkle of his eye. So whether it's tactile sensation or whether it's focusing on the twinkle of their eye when they tell you that they love you, and the sincerity. Don't make imaginal acts difficult. Look at just how that, I'm telling you, dude, she can call me Poppy, she called me, Papi Chulo. It's like out of nowhere. Guys, don't believe in coincidences, guys. They don't exist. You only exist, okay? But I just want to let you know that even if you don't do imaginal acts, all you got to do when you see your SP not choosing you, or for money, when you see that your finances are not where they should be in the 3D, not where you want them to be in the physical realm, you can't accept that. That's not good enough evidence if you're just seeing that with your physical eyes. Tell yourself, I have everything already. I'm fulfilled. Or you can go above and beyond and say that CEOs off themselves every single time that they open my bank account. Jeff Bezos' bodyguards always have to take them off the noose because of me. Okay? Tell yourself that your SP worships the toilet that you shit in, okay? That invokes an emotion, okay? And in my personal opinion, this approach to imaginal acts that I've talked about in this video is the closest thing to my self-pedestalizations that I can think of, where it gives you the emotion afterwards. Because think about it, if you're a woman and you're really tired of never being in a committed relationship with a man where they only want sex, guys, when you are putting all the energy and just focusing on the twinkle of your SP's eye and the sincerity in his face when he tells you that he's so happy to be married to you, you will feel something. And don't think that this is all just imagination. No, my family, you will get that in the 3D, bar none, no questions asked. The only one who will get in the way of it is you checking for deadlines, okay? Allow it to unfold. If you need any help, the links are in the description. I would love to work with you. Join the membership for exclusive access to videos that you will never see on the public side. And also, as far as 2 months advance access to videos that won't be posted till much later. Okay? I love you guys. Stay tuned.